Hello and welcome to a great edition of Buckeye TV's Campus View. I'm your host, Tommy Hudek. Thank you for joining us. We have an exciting show for you today. We'll find out what's on the minds of Ohio State students as we discuss the big topics on and off campus. Let's meet our first group of students. Please introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hello, my name is Cameron. I'm a sophomore here at Ohio State and I'm majoring in marketing.
Hi, my name is Lucy. I'm a fourth year at Ohio State and I'm a journalism major.
I'm Talia. I'm a fourth year and I'm a communications major.
Awesome. I'm so glad to have all you joining us here. And something about our university, it's so big and there's so many options of classes to take, and that can get lost in the cracks with, how much there is out there. So for this segment, we'll just have you go one by one. Tell us a little bit about a cool class you've encountered in your time. Maybe you took it, maybe you know someone that took it. Let the people out there know what they should be looking for when they're sitting there on scheduling window day, looking for something to take.
Yeah, so I'll start with this one. This is a class that I did not personally take, but my friend took it, and it is a skydiving class. Now, my friend is a business major. He in no way is related to anything aero in the sky, nothing. Like it's not anywhere in his realm of studies, and he encountered this class. I don't think it gave him any credit, nothing, but Ohio State offered it, and it was like a session 2 class. So basically he took it, waited like a month and a half, and then went to, I think, 2 classes to learn about how to skydive properly, and then did the thing, jumped out of the plane and skydived, and he got a credit for it at Ohio State.
Wow, I don't know if I'm brave enough to take that, the heights of that.
Yeah, super random too. It's like, okay, how do you tell your parents, like, hey, my tuition's going towards me skydiving? It's wild.
Crazy.
You gotta get that experience while you have the chance, especially if you can do it like, not for free, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Easy access to the sky.
Included.
Yeah, true. We're moving on to me. I would say one of the most memorable classes I've taken here was a history elective called Magic and Witchcraft. Unfortunately, we didn't learn any real spells, kind of got duped in that regard, but it was about the history of witchcraft in early modern Europe, sort of like practices, accusations, witch hunts, all that sort of good stuff. But yeah, it was really cool. We learned about like the tests they used to determine if someone was a witch, which were just terrible and not at all accurate.
If you were to take it, would you pass or fail?
Honestly, I can't remember. There were so many specific tests that you could do to determine, quote unquote, if someone was a witch. I'm pretty sure that one of them was like, you binded all of their limbs and like threw them into a body of water. And it's like, if you sunk, you were a witch. And to that I say, aren't you just a human? Because if you can't like Houdini yourself out of it, what are you supposed to do?
That's real.
But yeah, there was a lot of cool things, it was lecture based, but honestly, I did not mind going to the lectures at all just because I found it to be very fascinating.
I went to the Witchcraft Museum this summer, like Salem area. It was really cool.
Gosh.
Awesome. But any practicing witches, that's maybe not the place to be practicing spells. Important thing to note.
So mine's kind of in a similar realm, I'd say. The class I took was Intro to Literature, but it was actually all about Game of Thrones, the TV show. So it was a second session class, and why I chose to take it, although I'd never watched an episode of Game of Thrones, was because every other Intro to Literature class is all book-based, and you have to like read and like all that stuff, what you'd expect in an English class. Yeah. And I obviously didn't want to do that. So I signed up for this class, and then I found out that I had 7 weeks to watch all 8 seasons, or 7 or 8 seasons of Game of Thrones. And I also didn't realize how graphic it was, so I tried to watch the first episode in public. Don't do that. Don't do that. But from there on, every episode's like 40-ish minutes. There's like 15-ish episodes per season. I watched all of that for the first 8 months. I'm not speaking English, I'm sorry. For the first 7 weeks, and then the second 7 weeks, we would go through episode by episode for the first 2 seasons, talking about all the symbolism in the show and like looking at the script and different things that you could pull out from it. So it's pretty interesting.
I wish I knew that existed before I got that credit filled, probably. You probably wish you skipped season 8, though. That was not the best.
Yeah, not good. Terrible ending. And we didn't even talk about the ending in class. We only talked about seasons 1 and 2, but you needed to know what happened at the very end in order to like be able to catch any foreshadowing that happened.
I love that like watching Netflix or like whatever was like a part of your homework.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, Mom, I'm studying. And it's just like you like watching.
Also I'm in criticizing TV this year, and that's also all TV show based. And yesterday I had to call my dad while he was at work to get the code that Hulu sent him on his email so that I could watch Malcolm in the Middle for class.
Amazing.
I took
No,
that class. Yeah.
studying hard. I like to see it.
Yeah.
Well, for my class, it's a class I've known about for a long time. I feel like it's a pretty infamous class, and I've been just waiting till I'm, a senior and I have that early scheduling window to actually get into it.
Yeah.
Barbecue science, my favorite class I've ever taken. Actually, I've got something here for you. Just came back from the class. A little bit of Wagyu rib today. It's delicious. I mean, you get so much food to take home. I have cake in my backpack. We've made a whole
What?
chicken today. It's so awesome.
How long is this class?
It's sorry.
My question is also why cake? I don't know.
Yeah, why cake?
Is it cake?
It was a grilled
Yeah.
cake. It's
a grilled cake.
It's almost 4-hour class, but you never even feel that time. Only downside, it is across the Olentangy River, but I would make that trip from my East Lane house to Ag Campus 5 times a day if I could still take this class. It was really, really good. And then also, it's a 7-week class, so it's not a big commitment. And at that 7th week, you and your group, you do a challenge where it's a competition where you make a entree, side, and dessert. Winning group all get charcoal grills to take home.
What?
And it's got everything you want in a good class. We have visiting Weber Grill Masters as our little guest speakers coming in and giving us some pro tips. It's a really great time. I've loved my time so far, and I would recommend anyone that has a chance to take it.
It's like chopped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what you're gonna make yet?
Don't tell my opponents out there, but we're thinking about doing a little duck breast, a little Worcester glaze, but
Highbrow.
we'll get there when we get there.
Wait, when you're picking teams, are you kind of like trying to scout out like who's a good grill master, or is it randomly chosen?
It's actually random.
Ooh.
It's fully random.
It's tough.
But my last question, if someone wants to wrap us up, is what goes into a fun class to take? What are you looking for? What are the factors that make you say, this is a class I want to kind of make my schedule a little bit nicer?
I think that the most important thing about a class is that when you come home to your roommates and they say, how was class? You have a fun fact to tell them. That's my mark.
Yeah, I would say just like a high energy sort of classroom, especially if you can have friends in the class to like talk or study with. But yeah, I would kind of agree with that.
Yeah, and we're all taking majors that are gonna lay out what we do for the next 50 years. So why not spice it up while we're young, mix it up? I mean, like, make a fun schedule. Why not? Yeah.
I love to say it. Well, all those classes seem like they are things to spice up your schedule. There's some good fun facts to tell your roommates. If you're watching this, maybe keep a lookout for those next time you're scheduling. But that is all we have for now. Come back after the break and see what we have in store for you. Thank you so much.
Welcome to Buckeye Blitz, Inside the Action, where we take you behind the scenes of sports production at Ohio State University. Here at OSU, we're not just capturing the game, we're creating an experience. From prepping scripts to coordinating live shots, every moment is a team effort. But it's not all work and no play. Behind every great production is a team that knows how to have fun while learning. Join us as we dive into the world of sports production at Ohio State University, where passion meets creativity and every game is a chance to shine.
Welcome back to Buckeye TV. We're here with 3 great new guests, and we're here to talk about a new topic on the minds of students. Now, dinner. I love sitting back, having some dinner, watching a good YouTube video, but what's even better than that is having dinner with some great friends, some great company, shooting the breeze, talking about, whatever. But one of the long debated questions and icebreakers all around the world is if you could have dinner with any celebrity, alive or dead, who would it be? So we are going to answer that question after you introduce yourselves.
Hi, my name is Sam Cipriani. I am a senior here at Ohio State.
Hi, my name is Ashley Caldwell, and I'm a senior at Ohio State.
My name is Paige McBain. I'm also a senior at Ohio State.
Well, great to meet all of you. Sam, who's going to be sitting across from you at that dinner table?
For me personally, it's got to be LeBron James. We're going to be having a Taco Tuesday, of course. So I personally think he's the greatest athlete of all time, basketball player specifically. I've been a fan of him since I was a child. He brought Cleveland the only championship I've witnessed for any of my favorite sports teams. So I'm forever thankful for that. That was like one of the best memories of like my childhood. That would be mine for sure.
See, for me personally, there's a lot of amazing celebrities out there, obviously, but for me, I just gotta go with Sabrina Carpenter. She is the queen. She is amazing. She's so beautiful. I feel like, genuinely, she would be the funniest person to have dinner with. Every single thing that she says is so entertaining. I love her as an artist. I love her as a person, and growing up with her too, I feel like there's just so much I could ask her, so much I could talk to her about.
Have you been a fan since Girl Meets World?
Since before Girl Meets World, when she was on Austin Alley.
Oh my gosh.
So
Well,
I'm a day one. I get to see her on Monday. So
it's like an old friend. It's like someone from your childhood. You know, you can talk about nostalgic memories growing up.
Exactly.
That's a good one.
So I'm gonna take a little different route here, and I'm gonna do this based off of if there was an apocalypse and I had to survive, who's gonna benefit me the most? And that would be Bear Grylls. So he could teach me, and even a short dinner, you know, it could maybe move into cocktails later if we want to keep the conversation going. But I can ask him how to start a fire, the poisonous plants, where to take a shelter, the things that I would need to know in order to survive, how to scale a mountain. What else does Bear Grylls do? He does so many things. He would really tell me skills that would set me up for life. You know, I need to really focus on, this is my one advantage, my one chance to talk to somebody who has these skills, and I need him to tell me everything. I'm gonna bring a notepad, and I just write down everything he says, and then I will be the most prepared, and you guys will probably die in the apocalypse because you're talking to other people, and I'm talking to Bear Grylls.
I like you thinking about this like practically. You're gonna get something out of this that'll last
Yes.
your lifetime.
Yes.
And for this dinner, are you guys gonna be like hunched over a campfire eating like beans out of a pot or something? It's gonna be true to him.
I want to have a campfire meal, and I want him to make it out of a stone he got from the river, and we put it over the fire that he is just freshly made from a fish that we just caught in the river that he taught me how to do.
I don't know. LeBron's 6'8", 250. I think he could protect me in the apocalypse.
You're not going to be with him in the apocalypse. You're having dinner with him.
Well, I'm going to have dinner with him before the apocalypse,
He's
just
played
like
basketball
you.
against aliens. He knows how to really lock in and survive.
It's so true.
Well, I like to think of myself as a proud Buckeye. I really owe a lot to the school, and I've been a lifelong fan, and Buckeye athletics is something that's been really important to me. Now, there's a lot of athletes I've been pretty fond of. You know, Cameron Babb is a really touching story, or like even Cole Young, you know, volleyball. I played against him in high school, so that'd be pretty fun. But for me, you ask anyone I know, far and away, my favorite Buckeye athlete of all time is Zed Key, another number 23, better one in my opinion. But I thought it was a really big loss. We went to Dayton this year. When he played here, it was just so fun to watch him. His stats didn't jump off the sheet. He averaged just over like 6.5 points, but it was always a loud 6.5. When he would hit those like drop step dunks, spin moves, oh yeah. His celebrations were, you know, the thing you remember of him, the finger guns, raise the roof, right? But even more than that, you know, in the big moment, that big Purdue win, I think he was just such a disruptor on Zach Edey, and he really facilitated my favorite college memory, and you know, I'll always have a soft spot for that. But even more than that, I think he's just is probably like a really nice guy. People always know about all of his interests. He's very vocal about those, you know, having his pet ball python, his love of cars. He's just a goofy guy that I think was a big glue guy, you know, foundational chemistry piece of the Ohio State basketball team that I'm now missing him in Dayton. If you're watching this, I'd love to have dinner.
I actually have a fun story
Really?
from Zed Key. So I played in this like pickup basketball tournament, and we got Zed Key to play in our team. And it was just us and Zed Key. And I just watched. I was not playing because I didn't want to. But I watched, and he hung out with us, and it was pretty cool. So
Didn't throw many lobs off the glass.
yes.
Oh.
It was great. And we got some pictures, and it was great. So he's very tall.
You're living my dream page. That's so awesome. I'm not very good at basketball. I think I'd embarrass myself. But you know, I love all those answers. That's really cool. Now, just really quickly, if you want to tell me where you'd take them. Some of you kind of give insight on what you'd eat, but what's a nice local place you'd take them, enjoy some time with them, chop it up?
I don't know, Tommy. The question is where they would take us, I think. Like, I think they definitely have a lot more than us on the money aspect there, given that we all said multimillionaires. But I would love to go, I mean, somewhere in LA. I mean, LeBron's currently playing for the Lakers, so like I've had Columbus food so often throughout my life. I think it would be awesome to have an opportunity to try some of the local food there, because I know like in terms of like street food, they have food as far as the eye can see. I know like their tacos are like out of this world, so I would love to go do that. I know I said Taco Tuesday before, but that's my jam.
that's honestly a really hard question. And like he proved a good point. Like it'd be where they would be taking us. So honestly, if I could go anywhere in the world, I'd probably take her to Italy or something, like have some spaghetti or like have some Italian food. That would be.
I would take him to South Casuelas.
Oh, perfect. Great spot. Good fun time. Well, that's all we have time for. It's great to, think about what celebrities we'd go with, but really spend some time with your friends, have a good dinner with your roommates, your buddies from class. That's all we have from this segment. We'll see you after the break.
Ever wonder what is beyond the Ohio State campus area in downtown Columbus? Ever wanted to see one of the largest collections of early television equipment in the world? Well, Columbus Connection has you covered as we head to some of the go-to destinations on the west side of Columbus to give you the ultimate Columbus connection. We'll see parks, museums, bars, arcades, and some popular restaurants. All this and more on the next episode of Columbus Connections, exclusively on Buckeye TV.
Welcome back to Buckeye TV. Tommy Hudek still here. We've got 3 great new guests. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourselves?
My name is Lena Hennickel. I'm a senior here at Ohio State, and I am a communications major.
My name is Devin Levin. I'm a junior, and I'm a communications major.
My name is Sydney Howells. I am a 5th-year theater major, and I voice act in my spare time.
Love it. Well, the winds are picking up a little bit. Leaves are changing. September's drawing to a close. Spooky season is almost here. October's right around the corner. So, we're here to talk about, pretend we're here around a campfire, flashlights in our faces, telling our Buckeye viewers about some of, some spooky stories, spooky memories that have happened to you here on the Ohio State campus.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll go first. So I would just like to preface by saying I lived in the sister tower of the Moral Tower where Jeffrey Dahmer was said to have lived. Sorry, unofficially. We don't know.
Hey, I lived in Morrill. He lived there. I went to his
They
room.
filmed the show there.
Yeah,
He lived there.
he lived there. So I lived in Lincoln. And around the Lincoln area, we would just kind of tease each other a lot. We'd be like, oh, Jeffrey Dahmer, he's going to get you. Did that happen? No. But when I was there my freshman year, I was just walking to class, and there were multiple occasions where on my way to class, leaving Lincoln Tower, I would find headless squirrels. And it was like,
I'm sorry for that.
and
I don't know what you're about to
It was
say.
the most terrifying thing ever. I didn't understand it because I was like, is that like a normal predator thing? I was like, there's definitely someone on this campus killing these poor squirrels. Because it wasn't like, oh, I'd find like a head somewhere or like some like consistent. It was just like I would find like a squirrel, no head, or I'd find a squirrel head, and it just was becoming really unsettling. And I don't know if that's something cats do. I have no idea. The mystery is still ongoing too. So if anyone knows any information,
That's not spooky. That's terror. That's awful. I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah, like I don't know what's going on. There could be something going on campus. I really don't know. So just, guys, be safe. Walk in numbers. If you see someone in the Buckeye safety orange shirts, talk to them if you need help.
Yeah.
PSA.
Well, I lived in Morrill, and I can say that I've never seen a headless squirrel. Mine was a year after you, so maybe the guy graduated. I'm assuming it's a guy. I don't know. That was wrong. But so for me, I have a little bit of a different story that talks about the crime off campus. So last year, I lived in my sorority house, which was on 17th, and I was out to dinner, and I get a bunch of pictures from my sorority sisters of yellow tape around my house. I'm like, okay, what is going on? Apparently, a snag deliverer was going up to my house to drop off whatever it was, and a man with a gun came to my front porch, took the butt of the gun, hit the snag deliverer guy in the back of his head, and ran off. There was a gun at my front steps. And the So a detective was at the house, red tape was all over the house, police were at the house. When I got back from dinner, the snag deliverer guy was just sitting on our steps, like with like something on his head, and the ambulance was coming. Like my sorority house, like literally like 2 blocks from High Street. This happened last year around like October 8th.
That's terrible. Did they like take?
No one
anything?
found
Food,
him.
money?
I think he took his wallet. I'm like confused, like he had a gun, but like used the back of the gun. I was not. We didn't even have cameras to like really see what happened. But oh my goodness. Yeah.
Okay, everybody else has problems. I'm gonna share something that's a lot nicer than headless squirrels, people getting butted with guns, or whatever you're about to come up with. I used to work at a haunted house in Raymond, Ohio, named Adam's Family Haunted House. Now, it's run out of some guy's backyard. It's a family thing. They're really nice. I'd recommend going. They'll be open like every Saturday in October. And I came there, and for my first night, they had me stationed with a strobe light on me. So obviously, I'm like, ooh, that's seizure time. And they had me, like, they gave me a wig, and they're like, here, be Samara from The Ring. Guess what you do? Wear it backwards and stand there. Scare people. And I had at least a few people go, please don't be real. Is that real? And one kid chucked a glow stick right at my head, and I just went, eh. The next night, next week, their butcher had called out sick, so I had to be the butcher. And I had done this whole Love It, Sweeney Todd-esque deal, where like the first thing I did was I was like, hey, why not I, put all this makeup on, and I'm doing like this really sweet thing of, oh, I'm going to kill you, but I'm going to be like very polite about it. And there was one little girl, couldn't have been any more than like 8. Her family dragged her into this, poor sweet thing. She would not make eye contact with any of the actors, least of all myself with the white face paint, black tears. And this little girl looks at me, and she does this, and she's like, we're not cows, moo. And I'm like, I can't kill you, I'm sorry, I only eat humans, go on then, love. And I set them all out. And I had to radio the others and go, guys, don't scare her, she's been through enough tonight.
So you were the perpetrator in this rather than, the...
I didn't mean to be the perpetrator.
That's what you signed up for.
Hey, they didn't really, it was volunteer work, but hey, poor girl.
Well, Adam's Family, haunted house, look out for it. Maybe you'll see our good friend here. For me, I consider myself pretty lucky. I haven't had too many scary things happen, just, minor car break-ins, 3 times actually.
At mine once. First week of school last year, so.
I was sitting there doing my dishes, look out, see a wide open door, brick in my car. Didn't break the windows, thank goodness, just broke my handle off and stole my ignition. So that was very nice of them, could not drive that for a semester. But yeah, thank you all for sharing those, ranging from kind of funny to horrifying stories. Spooky season is approaching. We hope you all can enjoy it safely. But that's all we have time for today on Buckeye TV. Thank you so much for joining me. And be sure to study hard, midterms coming up, maybe for some of your interesting classes. And make yourself something nice for dinner tonight. Have some dinner with some good friends. And always be safe out there in that spooky world. I've been Tommy Hudek. Thank you so much for watching Buckeye TV.